May my homage to the gem of the Supreme Buddha. The Buddha is my refuge every day. May my homage to the gem of the Supreme Dhamma. The Dhamma is my refuge every day. May my homage to the gem of the Supreme Sangha. The Sangha is my refuge every day. May my homage to the Supreme Triple Gem. The Triple Gem is my refuge every day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta. May all divine beings arrive here to listen to sublime Dhamma expounded by the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Honor to the Supreme Buddha, the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Nibbāna paramang sukantiti. Meritorious devotees, Dhamma friends, you all have come to listen to a noble Dhamma sermon expounded by the fully enlightened one. Actually, Buddhas are born to this world in order to rescue us from this dangerous sansaric life and show the path to the attainment of Nibbāna. That is the final salvation. We all are suffering in the sansara without knowing it fully. Here and there we can understand some kind of pain and all that there, but we actually do not understand underhand suffering going on, due to the fact that suffering does not appear visibly always. Sometimes we suffer, but at another time we become happy. So due to that, we cannot identify this suffering cleanly. That is why we do not want to get rid of this suffering. Because suffering is not always suffering. There is happiness also, mixture. But in some planes of existence, in hell, fully suffering, completely suffering. But the beings there cannot, they cannot understand Dhamma. They cannot practice Dhamma. Even though, they understand suffering, they can do nothing. But we people understand suffering to a certain extent, but not fully. Therefore, we don't think of attaining Nibbāna. We think, now this is going on well, nothing to worry. I have my children, I have my wife, I have my husband, I have my relations, I have my property, I have my vehicles, I have my wealth. It's like that, I have my fame. Therefore, nothing to worry. Even when diseases come, you think, oh, there are private hospitals or government hospitals, wherever you can go get treatment. No, that is nature. Not to worry. Generally, diseases come. So, like that, we generalize and we tend to forget about the original problem, the main question. Main question is suffering. But we don't analyze suffering and understand it because always it is covered up by temporary satisfactions. Now suppose a mother suffers a lot for carrying a baby for 10 months or 9 months. But when the baby comes out and start crying, oh hair, like that, she forgets everything. We understand? Whenever we see the face of the baby, little baby, we forget entire suffering that she bore for 9 months. When she start crying and making happy behavior, mother forget all that. Therefore, this suffering is latent. It is latent. It is not manifest. That is why we do not want to attain Nibbāna. I mean, we do not want to have some idea to attain Nibbāna. This is the very difficult thing, is to get the idea to attain Nibbāna. More than attaining Nibbāna, have the idea to attain Nibbāna is difficult. Because if you are going to talk, if you talk with people about Nibbāna, they say, you mind your own business, I have my business to do. You are talking about nonsense. What is about Nibbāna? So I have my own business to run. Right? I have to care my children. I have to do my politics. I have to do my artistic works, education. So you talk about Nibbāna. So like that people tend to say. So it is a very difficult thing to have likeness to attain Nibbāna. So as long as you have got some idea, a glimpse of idea to attain Nibbāna, you have come to listen to the Dhamma talk. Understand? Now there are people there who are going here and there, having come to the Dhamma schools with the their students and all that. They are going here and there, they see the board and all that, but they don't come in to listen to. Why? It is not something important for them. Right? If there is a seminar for something like that, they would come here for their children's education. Right? That is the situation. So, there are, fortunately, one teacher came. You are teacher, no? Yes. Yeah, very good. He came. He's a fortunate one. So, now our Dhamma teachers may tend to think they know Dhamma, but they do not know Dhamma properly. They teach according to a syllabus. That syllabus they can manage, but they do not know the teachings of the Buddha, the discourses, right? Buddha has expounded 18,000 discourses. So they have no time to read all that, and they have not read them, and therefore they, not only the Dhamma teachers, the teachers in the Dhamma school, but others also must listen to Dhamma. Majority of the persons, mainly devotees I met in Malaysia, they do not have the idea of listening to Dhamma. That is a weak point. So first and foremost, we have to listen to Dhamma in order to, before practicing Dhamma, before practicing, we must know what to be practiced. So in order to get to know what is to be practiced, we must listen to Dhamma. So having known some small factors from one or two Buddhist monks, they tend to think now it is adequate. They tend to, now some of them told me, we come for meditation retreat. If there is a meditation retreat, they come. But before meditation, you must know what to be meditated rather. So maybe they practice certain objects of meditation, not adequate. However, that is good, but we must not tend to think this is enough for us. Further, we have to study. Now, I have read most probably 18,000 discourses. Yeah, but it is not adequate for me. I always, once again I read. We can't remember. Fortunately, one is coming, my friend. There are 4 factors. First and foremost, before attaining Nibbāna, in order to attain Nibbāna, you have to have 4 factors first and foremost. 4 factors. The first one is the most important one. Association of the noble friends. In one of the discourses, Buddha was asked by the Venerable Ananda, "O Venerable Sir, I tend to think half of the path of attaining Nibbāna is based on noble friends." In one of the discourses. Then Buddha said, "Don't say Ananda like that. The entire path of the attaining Nibbāna is based on noble friends." So therefore, noble friend is the first and most important factor in attaining Nibbāna. Your entire path can be ruined by a person. Sometimes the person may be a Buddhist monk. Sometimes person may be a lay person. Now in Sri Lanka, entire path to attain Nibbāna has been destroyed by some Buddhist monks. So the devotees have gone astray. You understand? Because there is one Buddhist monk in Sri Lanka claiming that Buddha was born in Sri Lanka. Now there is a group of people going after that particular monk. He tend to say, he claims that he is an Arahant. So the people call him Aryatun Vahansi. So they cannot attain Nibbāna. Not only attaining Nibbāna, they have to go to hell. Because they are dishonoring the Supremely Enlightened One. It is it is quite clear that he was born in Nepal, Lumbini, Rummindei. Even the gods, Brahmas, Maras, and everybody knows that the aspirant Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, was born in Lumbini Park. But this particular one monk trying to say he was born in Sri Lanka, somewhere in Ampara or something like that. Now some people follow. Who are the persons following that monk? Sorry. Doctors, engineers, professors, vice chancellors, educated people. Therefore, the others say, now you see, even the monks. Now, that is a very sad situation. So, first factor is loss for them. What is that? Noble friend. They have found a ignoble friend. Right? Papa Mitta. They have found a Papa Mitta, not a Kalyana Mitta. Missing. In Malaysia, if you find that type of Papa Mitta, you are lost. How can you understand whether this is a Papa Mitta or Kalyana Mitta? Actually, how can you understand? Give me some answers. How do you understand whether this is a Papa Mitta or Kalyana Mitta? Mr. Yap, can you give an answer? Miss Cindy, can you give an answer? How can you recognize this is a Papa Mitta, this is a Kalyana Mitta? Kui. Actually, Kalyana Mitta is one who speaks the real doctrinal Dhamma of the Buddha. Real teaching, not his own interpretation. He doesn't want to highlight himself. When he talks, if you see, this particular monk wants to show his colors, show his abilities, show about him, talk about him, rather than the teacher, then you can understand this is not a noble friend. Because he is talking about himself, his abilities. There are monks in Sri Lanka like that. Even if there are monks in Malaysia whom you meet, if they talk about themselves, then you understand this is not a noble friend. That is one, immediately you can understand. If the monk talk about the Buddha, the teacher, definitely he is a noble friend. I mean, there may be some problems, but to a great extent, he is okay because he understands, he talks about the teacher, right? He tries to make you take refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. Now, that is the first factor in attaining Nibbāna. You have to take refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. Without doing so, you cannot attain Nibbāna. Now, in many countries and many teachers of Dhamma, so-called teachers, meditation masters, they are conversant with the subject matter well, but they don't respect the teacher. Right? I mentioned one of the great teachers in the world. He started worshipping the Buddha after I am worshipping. After I worship, he started to worship. Ajahn Brahmavanso I am talking about. Now he came to Sri Lanka. I am the one who translated his Dhamma talks into Sinhala. He never comes and worships the Buddha statue. Then before sitting, I worship the Buddha. Then he looked at it for some days and then he started worshipping. So I am the one who taught him to worship the Buddha. But he is a great master in meditation. So what it indicates, he has no idea about the master. He tends to think, I am a great person. I know Dhamma. I can teach the devotees. But he is not a disciple. He has not considered himself as a disciple of the Buddha. Therefore, noble friend, I do not want to criticize Bhante, Ajahn Brahmaso, one of my good friends. I actually respect him as a Western monk, striving to go in the path. But the foundation for him has not properly laid down. The foundation is what is called, first and foremost, you have to take refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. Without doing it, you cannot attain Nibbāna. Not within this life or a very long period of time. So first and foremost, so noble friend help you to take refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. Then you can understand, this is a noble friend, because he asks us to take refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. And he teaches the qualities of the Buddha. Right? Now last Dhamma talks, I asked from you, do you know 9 qualities of the Buddha? Do you reflect on the Buddha always? I can remember Mr. Yap told me, now I started recollecting on the Buddha. That is a noble, according to my noble friendship, I taught it. Now they are following it. Now without doing so, you cannot attain Nibbāna. Even when you are passing the place of the Bodhi tree, the shrine room and all that, if you are actually trying to attain Nibbāna, you just worship the Buddha, worship the Bodhi tree, right? You don't pass those places without looking at them, without worshipping them, because always you are conscious. Where I am near the Bodhi tree, under which Buddha attained enlightenment. I have to respect it. This is the pagoda. This is the Buddha statue. So like that, in these minute aspects, these are not minute. In these aspects, you are very conscious. The noble person who wants to attain Nibbāna. From that, there itself, you start your journey. You understand? Our people, what they are doing? They are doing vipassana without looking at the Bodhi tree. They are passing Bodhi tree without looking at it. They want to do vipassana now. Now vipassana is at higher level. Now if you have come to that higher level, you definitely respect the Bodhi tree passing when you are passing there. You understand? Now the problem is the Montessori program has not done properly. So Montessori level should be given by the teachers, Dhamma teachers, Buddhist monks. Right? Noble friend. Actually, noble friend is the one who gives all these things. You have to worship the Buddha this way. You have to remember the Buddha always like this. These are the qualities of him, like that. The noble friend then teaches you the qualities of the Dhamma. Right? What is meant by Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo, Sanditthiko, Akaliko, Ehipassiko, like that. He teaches well all the things. What do you mean by open aiko? That means you see the Dhamma with comparison to yourself. Open aiko. With comparison to yourself. Now suppose anicca, dukkha, anatta. Now you can see those three aspects within your life. Now you are bald-headed. Now earlier on, very good, black hair. Now you have gone, you met decay, right? You are now decaying. So that is the true nature, anicca. It is suffering. And anatta we cannot manipulate according to our wish. Now you can't ask from your head, please once again come those hair like earlier on. They don't come like earlier on. They come but not black hair, gray hair. So like that comparison to your life, you have to understand Dhamma. It is what is called opanayika. Pacchattam veditabbo vinyohi. So like wise persons should understand Dhamma accordingly. Therefore, association of the noble friend is the greatest thing. That is the greatest thing. So you must be able to understand this factor very well. Yeah? Now, you have a lecture? Okay. Good. Another one came from the Dhamma school. Yeah, good. One is going back, another one is coming. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, so here the most important thing is noble friend. Selection of the noble friend is the most difficult thing these days. Most difficult thing. You go astray in this regard. Yes. So the person may be a famous one, well-educated one, maybe a professor. They all are okay. But the problem is he doesn't talk Dhamma. Dhamma expounded by the Buddha. He talks Dhamma, what is his own interpretations. Now in Sri Lanka there are some professors, they even do not believe the 32 marks of the Supremely Enlightened One. They criticize them. Then how can they become noble friends? Having been professors, they tend to think then that they can even criticize 32 special marks of the Supremely Enlightened One. Right? So therefore, some people get deceived due to the position of certain monks, certain teachers. But you have to measure them by their by their education, by their practice, and especially the knowledge of the proper Dhamma, what they talk. If they talk their own interpretations rather than the Supremely Enlightened One's Dhamma, then you have to reject them. At once you have to reject them, otherwise you have to suffer. Because you can associate that particular person as just a friend, but not a noble friend. So you have to understand who is a noble friend. Noble friend always emphasizes the danger of the samsaric life. Always emphasizes the danger. This is a dangerous place. You don't go on. Try to comprehend Dhamma as early as possible. Always the noble friend talks about that. If there is a person talking about enjoyment of life and all that, no, Buddha has said like that, but we have to enjoy life like that, they are not noble friends. Definitely bad friends. So you have to dissociate from them. So Buddha said in Sariputta discourse to Sariputta, I am the noble friend born to this world. The persons who undergo decay, death and all, they come to me and they get destroyed, decay, death and all that. So I am the Kalyana Mitta in the world, Buddha said. So Buddha is the greatest Kalyana Mitta born to this world. So we all are fortunate enough. We all are fortunate enough to take refuge in the Buddha. So I am always very happy as I am a disciple of the Buddha. I expect it till my attainment of Nibbāna. Even if somebody cut my head, you follow this teacher, I don't do it. Because even if my head is cut, if I am the disciple of the Buddha, I can be born in a pleasurable plane due to the fact that I am a disciple of the Buddha. Now suppose in the world there are some terrible people, they due to religion, they even massacre people. They may ask and they want to destroy us and kill us. You take refuge in our God, otherwise we cut you. Now if somebody says to me, I say, okay, you cut, can't help. I don't take refuge in your so-called God. I be there in my supremely enlightened one. Now you can remember one of the great heroes in Sri Lanka called Kapatipola, who fought against Britishers. He was caught by British government and he was supposed to be beheaded. Before beheading, he wanted to worship the great tooth relic. And he has a small booklet and he has another cloth he was wearing. He washed it and he offered to the tooth relic. Then he start worshipping louder. He has that small booklet and take it out, and that is there is a Dhammapada stanza. He recited the Dhammapada stanza properly. Then without any fear, he went to the place where he was to be slaughtered and the cut head. Then he asked the executioner, cut my head at once, right? After worshipping and all that. Then he was not able to cut properly, the executioner. Then he rose up and asked him, do it properly. And then he cut the head. Then the Britishers took his head to Britain and put it in a museum. Now he was not afraid to death when he was taking refuge in the Buddha wholeheartedly. Kapatipola, heroic Kapatipola. So when you have that kind of refuge in the Buddha, you should not be able to fear anybody, even to death. If you take refuge in the Triple Gem wholeheartedly, you will never go to hell. Definitely you will be born in a pleasurable flame. So, noble friend, what is the most important function of the noble friend is, noble friend teaches the real Dhamma of the Buddha. Then you go on the real path. So, if you find a bad friend, ignoble friend, he then directs you to different interpretation You are really interested in attaining enlightenment, but you are following wrong path. Then you can't attain, not attain in enlightenment, not attain in Nibbana, then you cannot attain Nibbana. Why? You follow wrong path. In the world, so many meditation methodologies are not according to the Buddha's teachings. Now last week I can remember one person asked from me about 16 steps of Vipassana meditation. What about this? Actually that is not taught to us by the Buddha for this worldly human beings. It is to the gods. Now the one that we should, something told to the deities cannot be followed by the human beings. We have to go to that level to follow that. Till then, we have to follow what is given to us. So what is given to us as meditation on Vipassana, insight meditation, I taught you in 3 lectures, in 3 Dhamma talks, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. So these are the 3 for the insight meditation for us. If you practice it, that is enough. That is adequate to comprehend the Dhamma. By practicing 16 types of Vipassana, you do not get disgusted in eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So you have to experience revulsion towards your eye, towards your ear, towards your body, towards your mind, towards your nose and all that. Without doing so, you cannot attain Nibbana. Right? You have to get disgusted with your 6 faculties. It is a very difficult thing. Now, you have craving about your house, vehicle, and all that. Now, here we are talking very deeply. We should not be craving for our eye, our ear, our nose, our tongue, our body, our mind. If we don't crave for our 6 faculties, then no problem for other things. Already we gave up everything. We have given up. Our Upasika there, she is having a meditation, no? Having some kind of absorption, jhana. When you are very far away, lonely, no disturbance, so very freely having some kind of meditation. So you had better have meditation at home. So you listen carefully. Therefore, so what is the most important thing in attaining Nibbana? Association of the noble friendship. That is the most important thing. Now you think about yourself whether you are associating noble friends. You can associate friends or the bhikkhus or anybody as friends. But for attaining Nibbana, as the Dhamma teacher, you have to select proper noble friend. You can offer dane, you can offer other things. You can associate everything you can do with monks and nuns and laypersons and all that. But in relation to, specifically, if you want to attain Nibbana, you have to select correct teacher. Correct teacher. Now today you try to think about it. This is very important. In my case, I have find the proper teachers, and basically I know now the best teacher is Dhamma and Vinaya. There is no more teachers above them. Above that. Who is the best teacher? Dhamma and Vinaya. If somebody helps you in telling you, emphasizing you, the most important, the greatest noble friend is Dhamma and Vinaya, he is a good teacher. Now I am emphasizing you, you have to always follow Dhamma and Vinaya. Doctrine, that means teaching of the Buddha, and his disciplinary code. So Buddha said, if somebody says something, don't reject at first, don't accept at first. You see whether they are in accordance with the Dhamma and Vinaya. If they are in accordance with Dhamma and Vinaya, you can accept. Otherwise, you have to reject. So who is the best teacher? Who is the best teacher for us for attaining Nibbana? Dhamma and Vinaya. Dhamma and Vinaya. And the noble friends who are emphasizing about Dhamma and Vinaya, who talks in accordance with Dhamma and Vinaya. Now you can check in my Dhamma talks if there is anything apart from the Dhamma and Vinaya, contrary to discourses expounded by the Buddha. You can challenge me. Bhante Pannasiri, you have spoken something wrong. This is not found in the Buddha's teaching. So you can challenge. So I don't deliver Dhamma beyond the teachings of the Buddha. So I am very happy about that. No interpretation of mine. All the Buddha's interpretations. Who am I to have interpretations? We are very simple, little, tiny persons, beings before the Buddha. Buddha is the highest person in the world. You have to take refuge in him always. Now, when you associate the noble friend, he directs you to listen to sublime Dhamma. Now, the Dhamma that I have told you these days is not adequate. It is not adequate for me also. I mean, we all get together and we all should read the correct Dhamma expounded by the Buddha as much as possible and practice it. Sometimes, as I mentioned, there are 17,705 discourses. We call it approximately 18,000. Almost all the discourses are not essential here. Sometimes one discourse is essential for one person to attain Nibbana. For example, 4 foundations of mindfulness discourse, Satipatthana. Satipatthana itself is adequate according to Buddha. But the practice is the most important thing. The way that our forefathers practice, we do not practice today. That is the reason why that we cannot attain Nibbana within this life. The problem of practice and not knowing the Dhamma. We do not know the Dhamma, what to practice, and we do not practice. By knowing something, one discourse, 2 discourses, participating in a retreat and all that, they tend to think we know. That is the dangerous thing in attaining Nibbana. We should not think that we know. Always means we must think we do not know. Then we tend to gain much knowledge in the Dhamma. The same, sometimes you may be listening to the same discourse another place. You should not think, I have listened to this discourse, not necessary I know it. No, you have to listen once again. If it is taught to you 30 times, you should listen to. Because the understanding you gain is different. right? Then the first two factors are association of the noble friends and listening to the sublime Dhamma. If you go wrong in these two, definitely you will be unable to attain Nibbāna. This is the very, very important thing. I think I don't know whether you associate noble friends. You are associating noble friends. The Dhamma teacher, you have to. There are some Dhamma teachers, here and there they make mistakes. The disciples cannot understand the mistakes. What are the mistakes that they made? Why? No proper Dhamma knowledge. So in Sri Lanka, some people follow various Dhamma teachers and they say this is very good and all that. Then I show them, this is the point that he made the mistake. Right? If one person make a mistake in somewhere, it's a greater mistake. You cannot actually accept such persons. We cannot make mistakes in teaching the teachers, Buddha's teaching. We have to teach correctly. Even if, that may tend for you to go to hell if you misinterpret the teachings of the Buddha. The third factor is proper attention. Now, first one, association of the noble friends, then listening to sublime Dhamma. Third one, proper attention. Proper attention. That is very important. Proper attention. Yoniso manasikara. We call it Yoniso manasikara. Understand? Yoniso manasikara. I think you have heard this word always. Yoniso manasikara. Proper attention. You see anicca as it is, impermanent as impermanent, suffering as suffering, and soullessness as soullessness. Proper attention. Then final one is Dhammanudhamma Patipada. Practice of the Dhamma. These are the four factors which are essential for attaining Nibbāna. And also, the person who wants to attain Nibbāna does not think this part is okay, other part is not okay, like that. They don't think. There are people there are some devotees, they accept some parts of the teachings of the Buddha, which can be felt by our eyes, nose, tongue and body, like that. But invisible things like hell, heaven, rebirth, they don't accept. Now you can't do like that. You have to accept everything expounded by the Buddha in order to attain Nibbāna. And you practice everything, every minute thing in Dhamma for attaining Nibbāna. Now suppose you all have come here to listen to Dhamma in order to attain Nibbāna. Now, at home, your parents are suffering now. They are in the elder houses. You don't attend on them. Now you come here to attain Nibbāna. But you can't do it. Buddha says, Mata Pitu Upatthana. It is also Buddha's teaching. You can't neglect it. You can't do Vipassana. You can't go to retreat of Vipassana neglecting parents. You will be unable to attain Nibbāna. So you have to attend on parents. That is one of the greatest thing. What about you? You all are attending on your parents well. Mr. App, okay? Huh? You are okay? Okay, then you are eligible to attain Nibbāna. Otherwise, you are not eligible. So our devotees are like that. They are not eligible because they neglect parents. Now see Buddha, he went to heaven to deliver Dhamma to his mother. He delivered Dhamma to his father 4 times to attain arahantship. And he gave the permission to become a nun to his stepmother, Prajapati Gotami, right, to attain arahantship. So he did everything for the parents. And he said in one of the discourses, if you care your parents by holding them on the shoulders for 100 years, even then the debt is not paid off. See? Then if you do not attend on parents, how can you attain Nibbana? So the devotees today, those who want to attain Nibbana, first and foremost, they do not care their parents. Never able to attain Nibbana. One day, one of the devotees in Sri Lanka told me I could not come to observe Sil for 16 years because I looked after my mother. Then I said, okay, quite good, very good. So you did the greatest thing. That will help you to attain Nibbana one day. For 16 years. Right? So these are very, very important in attaining Nibbana. The base. Majority of the persons who want to attain Nibbana, no base. First and foremost, they want 24 conditions. Right? Or is insight meditation. At once, jump into insight meditation. No basics, no triple gem, nothing. So this is very, very important is triple gem and gratitude. Gratitude, the concept of gratitude very important. If you are not a person who pay gratitude, you cannot attain Nibbana. You cannot come even to first jhana, Buddha says. So gratitude, under gratitude comes attending on parents. So you have to have that quality, gratitude. How about your gratitude? Good. Now if you want to attain Nibbana within this life, you have to pay gratitude. Okay? Gratitude okay? If you don't have gratitude, now when I am here in my room, I remember the what is called, now this is hot season, and there is what is called what are these called every facility inside the room. All the facilities are there, fans and other things, right? Cool is there. So I was thinking the Buddhist monks who were residing here, the pioneers and the devotees, these are their money, these are their dedication. They sacrifice their lives for construction of these temples and all that. That is why we are living here now. We spend the time well, delivering Dhamma, accumulating merits. So I was thinking like that. That is gratitude. You have to remember like that. You have to give merits to them. Now Venerable Kirinde Dhammananda Thera, who did the yeoman service, because of him that we have come here to disseminate Dhamma. If you don't remember, we cannot attain Nibbana. You understand? The meritorious devotees who spend money on constructing these buildings, we are living in those buildings inside. So that is how we have to have the proper attitude, Dhamma attitude. each and everything are very important in attaining Nibbana. These days, people want to attain Nibbana, come and participate in a certain retreat program. They just come and sit down, participate, and go out. No, they don't think anything like that. They have to think, oh, very good, this Buddhist Maha Vihara has been built up by these so and so, these monks and these devotees. That is why we come here, like that. Now today also we are having this Dhamma sermon, listening due to those dedications. Yes, we have to pay gratitude to them. Now that is how we are developing the qualities to attain Nibbana. These are not talked of these days. Only Dhamma part. This is also included into the Dhamma. These qualities. Right? That is why these days people cannot attain Nibbana. The completely one part is out. Right? Parents are neglected. Gratitude is not there. But they practice Vipassana. Can't attain Nibbana. No charity, no offering, no practice of sila, no taking refuge. Even the highest teacher is forgotten. Vipassana they can remember, but Buddha is forgotten. So how can attain Nibbana? Can you understand? Now Bhante, Ajahn Brahmavanso, he doesn't worship the Buddha statue. He tends to think he is the master. I mean, first and foremost, we have to worship the Buddha. It indicates that he is, sometimes he might not think like that. But when you come and worship the teacher, the Buddha statue, the devotees tend to think, oh, our master is the Buddha, not this Buddhist monk. Now, Bhante Pannasiri is somebody else. Our master is the Buddha. What he is delivering is Buddha's teaching, not his own teaching. Today, masters try to show, I am the one who is delivering the path. Even don't give the proper recognition to the Buddha. So that he is not a noble friend. So you have to understand, Buddha is the greatest person ever born to this world. So we have to reflect on him always. Buddhanusati. And also some other very important factors are the person who wants to attain Nibbana within this life or within shorter period of time or next time, do not harbor jealousy. Jealousy. How about your jealousy? Sometimes. Because I can remember in Sri Lanka, I asked this question from some of the students of the Dhamma schools and all that. One boy told me, I asked, how about the percentage? Then one boy said, I have 60%. 60%. I asked, what about your brother? He has 40%. Now I said, you are very good because you accept you have greater. Yeah. But your brother is good. He accepts his brother has lesser. 40%. Now, you have to, if you want to attain Nibbana, you have to always analyze yourself. Don't analyze others. What has happened today is, our time is wasted in analyzing others. Don't you think so? Every time some people analyze the government, some people analyze other political parties, and some people analyze about the Buddhist monks. Some people analyze about the neighboring people. Some people analyze about family members. How about the husband? How about the wife? How about the children? No time to analyze yourself till the end of your life. Therefore, from today onwards, if you want to attain Nibbāna, start analyzing yourself. Understand? Have you started analyzing? Yep. Have you started analyzing? Good. You are Shia? Yes. You have started analyzing. Yes, very good. So, the first factor is, one of the best factors to analyze is jealousy. If you are not jealous, magnificent, you are near attainment of Nibbāna. Jealousy is one of the dangerous one. Jealousy. That means you don't like to see others' success. You don't want to appreciate it. Earlier on, I found I do not have jealousy. Right? Recently I found on some occasion, some jealousy arose. Then I understood, jealousy is still there. This is like Ajahn Sumedho came to Singapore, open visa. He has been practicing 4 sublime states, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. So, then what happened was when he was entering, his visa was rejected. He was British. He has a British passport. Bhante Pannasiri's rejection is no problem. Sri Lankan passport, no problem. He British passport. Then he was shocked. Then he understood his equanimity has not developed. He thought he has fully equipped with these sublime states. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Upekka is you don't shatter for anything, any ups and downs in the world. But suddenly he was shocked. Then he understood. So in the same manner, very recently I found on one occasion, I was jealous. To a certain extent. I thought it is no more. But when the situation arises, that operates. You tend not to have jealousy, but when situation arises. So that is why we have to be very careful, and also we have to be very open in analyzing. Now I am not shameful to say that I found some jealousy in me, amount of jealousy, because without telling the truth, you can't attain Nibbāna. Now, if I am going to say, no, I did not find any jealousy in me, that is wrong. That is false. I found some amount. Right? So, we have to control entire gamut of this jealousy in order to attain Nibbāna. In that sense, Mr. Yap told the correct thing, no? You say, I have, no? Yes. And cruelty, revenging. Now the person who wants to attain Nibbāna never revenges. Never revenge. Let any grudge go away. Right? Not keep in the mind. Now, if you have any hatred towards anybody in your mind, now very difficult to attain Nibbāna. You have to keep them away. Keep away from your mind. You can dissociate the person, but no grudge against the person. Now sometimes, suppose the person is here, you don't talk to the person, but you always spread loving kindness. So and so also be happy, like that thinking. But face to face you don't smile or nothing. The person tend to think, see, this person is very wicked. But it is, we should not go and tell the person, I am not wicked, I am spreading loving kindness to you, like that. Right? But we internally, what is important in attaining Nibbāna is internal purity. Internal purity, always happiness. You don't have any hatred in mind. Always loving kindness. And compassion, equanimity. These are the very important factors to develop. Then you always be happy. Nothing to worry. Even if you die now, no problem. Yes. Understand? Either you attain Nibbāna, or you will go to a pleasurable plane where you can attain Nibbāna as early as possible. So our intention should be like that. Try to attain Nibbāna within this life. If not, to go to a particular place where you can attain Nibbāna as early as possible. So, and pride also another factor that you cannot, you should do away with. Pride, malice, garrulity, underhand works, greed, all that. There are some people, they do not do any work because of their pride. Sometimes they tend to think, I am the president, so and so, therefore I should not do this. But there are some presidents, they don't ask others to even hold the umbrella to them, they themselves hold the umbrella. No pride. You understand? So we should not mind about our position. We have to be very humble. The person who wants to attain Nibbāna is very humble. No pride. No proudness. Talk to everybody accordingly, if not dangerous. Otherwise you are not going to talk or laugh, smile. But very, very humble if you want to attain Nibbāna. Now I am a very popular monk in Sri Lanka, but I talk to everybody if they talk. They told me, monk, Bhante, you are very good because some other popular monks we cannot approach to them, but in your case you are very good. I say, at that time we were buffaloes, no? In the sansaric life, we were dogs, buffaloes and all that. What is there to be proud? Nowadays I am a Buddhist monk, I am popular, but sometimes in the sansara we were in the hell. We were in the animal plane. We were in the ghost plane. Therefore, nothing. Who are going to know? Who knows that I am going to be a dog next time? Like a puppy there. In the temple, there is a small puppy. Lot of facilities to him. He go on the shoulder of the chief monk. Who can go on the shoulder of the chief monk? Only that puppy. He has done lot of merits to go on the shoulder of the chief monk. You understand? So to be a dog is sad situation. That dog, yeah. You know that to be a dog like that, compared to the other dogs, he's lucky. He's lucky. He gets juicy food and all that, lot of care, love, affection. He may have given love in the samsara and food, alms. That is why in turn he gains all that. If Bhante Pannasiri is going to be a dog also, high ranking dog, not a lower one, definitely. Most probably will be staying in a temple. You understand? And you all have become dogs in the samsara. Those days you were barking. Right? Don't think that process is over. Still, it is there. Very little amount of people can be able to be born in pleasurable plane. Very little. The Buddha one day took some soil onto the nail and asked from the Buddhist monks whether the soil on this nail or the soil in the earth are greater. Then they said the soil on your nail is very little, but other soil on the earth are greater. Then you understand, monks, the amount of the soil on the nail, among the people, very little becomes human beings or gods. Just like the soil on my nail, amount of the sand in the earth, majority of the people will become, will be in 4 planes, 4 hells. Now I just calculate, mere calculation. How about then amount of this soil in comparison with the population in the world? What is the number of the people who get included into this category? I think less than 10,000 people. Less than 10,000. So I am also fighting to enter to that 10,000. Yes. So what about Shia? So you are trying to enter. Yes. Mr. F, you are trying to enter. Huh? So you have to strive very much. Yes. You have to be vigilant to enter to this group. Very difficult. People do not know that there is a competition like that. Yes. This is the greatest competition in the world. Enter into this amount. The qualifications. Take refuge in the triple gem wholeheartedly. The first qualification. And there are other qualifications of accumulating merits and all that. So very difficult. Actually, this is not thought of by the people. They have to think other things. Now, I am always thinking about this competition. How can I enter? How can I enter? Now, if you actually qualify enough with the qualifications, if you actually are eligible, then no problem. So these are the factors to complete. Unshakable confidence, saddha, unshakable confidence. Sila, virtue. Sutta, Dhamma, knowledge. That is why we read at least entire gamut of the discourses, Dhamma knowledge. Now you should not think our knowledge is enough. No, it is enough for certain things, but to enter to that particular higher level, you have to have a broader Dhamma knowledge, Sutta. Then Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Chaga, charity. And Panya, wisdom. Now Shia is trying to practice charity well. Already offered me 3 teachers. And fear of shoes. Yes. Huh? Yes. Some other things. She's always, and also I asked her to give me some milk powder. I asked 1. She gave me 2. Huh? So therefore, no, just I am mentioning to be happy. So you have to offer things as much as possible. Whenever you get a chance to Maha Sangha, you offered not to Bhante Pannasiri but to Maha Sangha. When you offer things to Maha Sangha, you gain a lot of merits. Not only to Maha Sangha, you have to offer to the supremely enlightened one, Buddha. And you have to offer to human beings and animals. Like that, you have to complete this charity, dana, offering as much as possible. And final one is wisdom. That is anicca, dukkha, anatta. To know properly as they are. So these 5 factors, if you completely practice, then you get the chance to be born in a pleasurable plane. So you have to work hard. Just doing something is not enough. And meritorious devotees, and there are 37 factors of enlightenment that we have to practice in order to attain Nibbāna. 37 factors of enlightenment. First one is 4 foundations of mindfulness. Kāyānupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. Kāyānupassana is contemplation on the body. It can be explicated in different ways. First one is breathing in, breathing out. Right? So you had better read discourse on mindfulness, Satipatthana, which is found in Majjhima Nikaya, Middle Length Discourses, and other one is 22 discourse on Digha Nikaya. So foundations of mindfulness. Contemplation on body, contemplation on feeling, contemplation on mind, contemplation on mind objects. Second one is the 4 right efforts. Right efforts. That means not to do bad things. You have efforts to not to do bad things, unwholesome things. Already started. Unarisen. Already arisen. And not to do unwholesome things, do away with unwholesome things, already arisen. Arisen and unarisen. And you try to start unarisen, wholesome things. Suppose now you are not meditating. Now you start meditating. Unarisen. And you also want to continue what is arisen, wholesome things. So these are, I am explaining in simple terms. 4 right efforts. Third one is the 4 bases of power. 4 bases of power is Iddhipada. Iddhipada. First one is Chanda. You have to have the likeness. Chanda. So that is very difficult thing, as I mentioned. You have to have your own likeness to attain Nibbāna. You must give your consent. I like to attain Nibbāna. Consent is the first thing. So there are people in the world, they don't have any consent to attain Nibbāna. Even in Malaysia, maybe. As I mentioned earlier on, if you talk about them about Nibbāna, they say, I have other business to do. No consent. So consent is very important thing. In your case, you have given the consent now. That is why you came to listen to Dhamma. Consent. Chanda. Second one is Chitta. Chitta is you have kind of action. You are taking the determination, thought, Chitta. Then Virya, energy. You take energy to do it. And Vimansa. Vimansa is you observation. Vimansa. Then there are the 5 faculties. 5 faculties. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. 5 faculties. Okay. Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Saddha, unshakable confidence. Virya, energy. Sati, mindfulness. Samadhi, concentration. Panya, wisdom. Then 5 strengths. 5 strengths also, Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Then 7 factors of enlightenment. 7 factors of enlightenment. So 7 factors of enlightenment is mindfulness, investigation of mental phenomena, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration and equanimity. Sati, Dhamma Vijaya, then Virya, Pīti, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upeksha. These are the 7 factors of enlightenment. And final one is Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. You all know about Noble Eightfold Path. So this is the 37 factors of enlightenment. If you practice these 37, we can attain Nibbāna within this life. Therefore, I think I gave a kind of certain explanation as to how we can attain Nibbāna now. When you practice like this, it helps you to gain to a greater, heights in this life. If this does not happen, that is not wasted. That kind of effort you gain, it will be fruitful in next life or within a shorter period of time. So may you all be able to comprehend the 4 Noble Truths within this life or within a shorter period of time.
Bhante, good morning. How to deal with procrastination? Procrastination is put off the things tomorrow, need to. Cannot do immediately.
Is that a delaying?
Yes.
People having a lot of excuses, like try to comfort themselves and saying that today may be too busy, and sometimes it's an excuse.
You are talking about postponing.
Yes.
Postponing, yes. So how can we give up? How can we face such situation?
Yeah, must do
Now. Yes. Why we postpone? What is the reason for postponing is he or she lacks unshakable confidence to the Buddha, Saddha. Due to lack of Saddha, we postpone. If our Saddha is properly structured, then we do not postpone. Did you get the point? Now your question is why we postpone, no? Yeah. Anything we do, we postpone. Anything means we do it tomorrow, today I can't observe 5 wishes, but tomorrow I will do it, like that, we postpone. Yeah, that is, if it is related to Dhamma, that is lack of saddha. If it is related to other homely works, that is not saddha case, that is something secular problem. Secular in the sense, even you in Dhamma, you have what is called energy, the problem of energy. Uttanavato, you have no determination. Satimato, no mindfulness. So that is why you always tend to postpone the tasks and all that, put off, right? So some day-to-day activities you put off due to not having strength. But the Dhamma things you postpone due to lack of saddha. If you have saddha, you don't postpone. Then you get what is called fear of samsara. You get fear of samsara. What will happen to me if I die now? If I die now. So I have not accumulated merits as such. I have not got enough knowledge of the Dhamma. I have not practiced Dhamma well. Like that, it always gives you some fear to your mind. Then that fear presses you to practice Dhamma to now onwards, now itself. So due to lack of saddha, you tend to postpone Dhamma activities. Due to lack of strength, you tend to postpone day-to-day activities. Did you get the point? Okay.
Thank you, Bhante, for the wonderful teachings you've given us this morning. There's one question I'd like to ask us of my limited knowledge on what is Vipassana that you mentioned that was taught to the gods or something like that. You said not really sort of relevant for worldlings like us. Could you explain a little bit? I always thought Vipassana was having something to do with the Satipatthana, but I because also I have limited knowledge on that one. So perhaps you could explain a bit more. Thank you.
Yeah. So Vipassana means insight meditation. You have to pay attention on khandha, aggregates, and elements and faculties in relation to impermanence, suffering, and soullessness. That is what is called Vipassana. Now, for example, this I is due to cause and effect. As long as this is due to cause and effect, it is impermanent. If something is impermanent, it is suffering. If something is suffering, it is soulless. So like that you have to think. Form is also like that. Sound is like that. Odor is like that. And taste is like that. Tangible objects are like that. And mental other thoughts are like that. And also like 4 elements. The earth element, fire element, water element, air element, all are due to cause and effect. If something is due to cause and effect, it is impermanent. If something is impermanent, it is suffering. If something is suffering, it is soulless. So like that you have to always contemplate on them. That is what is called Vipassana. But in Abhidhamma, there are 16 types of Vipassana. Now that is not for us. That can be developed by the deities. For us, this methodology is enough. I mean, to look at impermanence, suffering and soullessness in relation to aggregates, 5 aggregates, 4 elements and 6 faculties. You understand? And on the other hand, mindfulness, in relation to mindfulness, those Kaya Anupassana, Vedana Anupassana, Chitta Anupassana and Dhamma Anupassana, they also come under kind of insight. Did you get the point?
So what you mentioned earlier is okay. It's only what is mentioned in the Abhidhamma that's not okay lah. Am I getting it right?
Yeah. Abhidhamma.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Actually, it is okay. It is okay. But our capacity in our mind is not adequate to comprehend that methodology. In human world, that will be helpful in the heavenly world. So Buddha has given us this methodology for us to practice. So when we practice this methodology, easy for us to understand. But our devotees want to practice that very difficult one. To show that we are practicing Abhidhamma, not to attain Nibbāna. If you want to attain Nibbāna, you have to practice the methodology given by the Buddha to us, human beings. But people do not want to attain Nibbāna, it seems. Therefore, they show that we are practicing Abhidhamma methodology, but difficult to comprehend. So in my case, I want to attain Nibbāna, therefore I practice methodology given to us. The suitable methodology is known by the Buddha for the human beings. So our capacity, Buddha knows. Our mental capacity.
Bhante, just a follow-up question from the sister. I found that your Dhamma today about this foundation, we need to strengthen that foundation. It's very important. And for so it's just simple, just focus on Dukkha, Anicca, Anatta, and then triple gem, and so on and so forth. I found that, for example, compare with Christianity or Islam, they are very simple. Just like you believe in God, you go to heaven. That's it. That's why you see that we are talking about human world, not heavenly world. We are calling it human world. In this human world, they are working very well, better than Buddhism. Buddhism, for example, in this Southeast Asia world, especially in the Malay world, those days they were Buddhists, but now they have lost faith on Buddhism. They have become Muslims, and so on and so forth. Also for other reasons, because we Buddhists, we didn't focus on the human world. We focused too much on the heavenly world. Even we lost our ground in India because we are too much on heavenly world. We lost ground to Hinduism, for example. Even though Hinduism is not so universal religions like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. I think that is a very good point. But having said that, I found that there is a new development, especially in the Western world. They are attracted to Buddhism because of this vipassana, this kind of sophisticated, this kind of so-called heavenly world, as Bhante pointed out. Is it because, I just wonder, is it because if those days, or in a very simple society, I think this triple gem and works well in the human world, but now in the digital society, we as if bringing the whole human world into a heavenly world, which makes vipassana could be more relevant in confronting this digital world, which are making us, we are actually no longer living in the human world now. We are living in the heavenly world, so-called digital world. So that's my question. Thank you.
Actually, younger generation need the basics, first and foremost basics. They need good qualities. So they lack good qualities. So first and foremost, they have to introduce the teacher, who is the Buddha, what is the Dhamma, and what is the Sangha. And then gradually we have to let them know about these three signata, right? So that's what we have to do. I mean, they have gathered the knowledge about the universe and other things, but they have to give the proper interpretation of the Dhamma. That is what is necessary.
I got one sutta here which I feel I feel good, but can you explain further? It's Vijjabhagya Sutta. Okay, I can read if you want to recall back. This is from AN 2.30, Vijjabhagya Sutta. These two qualities have shared a clear knowing, which two, samatha and vipassana. When tranquility or samatha been developed, what purpose does it serve? The mind is developed. And when the mind is developed, what purpose does it serve? Passion is abandoned. When insight is developed, what purpose does it serve? Discernment is developed. And when discernment is developed, what purpose does it serve? Ignorance is abandoned. Defiled by passion, the mind not released. Defiled by ignorance, discernment not developed. Thus, from the fading of passion, there is awareness release. From the fading of ignorance, the discernment release. Can you elaborate more on this?
Yeah. In that particular discourse, those things are not, explicated more. It is not explicated more there. I am asking from you. In the same discourse, that's all mentioned. So by development of the tranquility meditation, your passion is do away with. And by developing insight meditation, ignorance. Yes. So now we tend to craving for eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind and our aggregates and all that. When you develop the meditation on tranquility meditation, it gives you control. That means sense control. Now generally we tend to see a form, hear a sound and taste. We tend to get attached to them. But when we have the what is called tranquility in our mind, then our senses are controlled. That is how we get controlled in that way. Senses are controlled due to our tranquility in mind. So other one is when you have insight meditation, then your ignorance is controlled, right? Because insight helps us to understand reality. This is impermanent, this is suffering, this is soullessness. So tranquility can control the situation. Insight can give the real situation. So reality, when you understand reality, useless of having this eye, useless of having this ear, because it is impermanent and it is suffering and it is soulless. We cannot manipulate according to our wish. Then we tend to get away from the ignorant of these things as my, I, myself. Then you actually escape. Okay? Right. So
Okay.
Just continue on that one, yeah. So we need to control our senses, right? We need to practice Indriya Samvara.
Indriya Samvara. Actually, that Indriya Samvara is what is called that tranquility.
Yes. So can you help me to show me how to practice, Indriya Samvara?
Indriya Samvara. That is, we have to, when we have ear, we have ear, we have nose, tongue, body and mind and all that. In order to have Indriya Samvara, we have to have mindfulness. Mindfulness. So mindfulness is the factor which helps you to control our eye. What to see, what not to see. What to hear, what not to hear. Like that, it differentiates mindfulness. So by being mindful, you tend to control your senses. So mindfulness is the major factor in helping us to be control ourselves. Okay. Today we had a very important noble Dhamma sermon in relation to, out of all the Dhamma talks given by me, this is attaining Nibbāna within now. So I accumulated a lot of merits by explaining this Dhamma talk, and you, by listening, you accumulated. Let us transfer these merits to the divine beings, including God Sakra and God Vishwakarma, and especially 4 guardian gods, including Virupaksha and other Alavaka, and all these special deities, high-ranking deities, and the deities attached to this temple. May all of them, having taken these merits, be happy, and may all of them attain Nibbāna. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also, let us transfer these merits to late Reverend Kirinde Dhammananda Maha and all the other departed relatives, devotees. May all of them gain these, having gained these merits, may they be happy, and may they attain or comprehend 4 noble truths and attain Nibbāna. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also I am thankful to Mr. Tilak Leslie, especially who invited me to come to Malaysia in order to deliver Dhamma sermons. He is the secretary of the Sasana Abhivruddhi Vardhana Society. So himself and his family, wife and all that, may they be happy, have a healthy life due to these merits. And also may all of you gain these merits, and all of you be happy, well and happy, and have a very good, happy life, meritorious life, and may you all be able to comprehend the 4 noble truths within a very, very short period of time and attain Nibbāna. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciran rakkantu buddha sāsanaṃ. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciran rakkantu buddha desanaṃ. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā ciran rakkantu taṃ sadā. May you all be well and happy. And also I am thankful to Mr. Suranga Balavinnage, who is recording all these Dhamma talks, and that is a great help for us. And today, instead of Mr. Tilak Leslie, Mr. Kui help us in conducting the Dhamma talk. So thank all of them. May the Triple Gem bless you.